Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields on this Thursday. A rare Florida, Bahamas earthquake. It was not a big one, but it was about 4 in magnitude. This happened last night. This happened just off the coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida, and the northern Bahamas. The depth of this was about 10 kilometers, 6 miles. That's under the ocean floor. So it was actually a relatively shallow one. And there were some reports of feeling this right into Brevard County in the east coast there of Florida. So it was not a big quake. Now, this area in the past, there have been known experiments as far as they've detonated stuff offshore of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Last night, there was a rocket launch. It doesn't appear that was tied together. And I've been checking. I haven't seen any reports of any experiments or anything going on like that. I'll keep an eye out. But as of now, officially, 4.0 in magnitude just to the north of the northern Bahamas, just to the east of Florida. And I looked over about the last 100, 150 years. There's only been a couple quakes in the spot. Sometimes there are some earthquakes, especially on the southwest coast of Florida, just offshore in the Gulf, but this is kind of a rare spot for a quake. So I'll monitor that. Again, 4 in magnitude happening last night near the northern Bahamas and the east coast of Florida. Now, elsewhere, we're watching a few things. System working its way across the U.S. I want to show you the next front and then that flare-up of rain. We've had a lot of rain in the Caribbean. Thinking of you if you were dealing with some of the flooding, had a lot of power outages scattered about in many spots. There's the flare-up of rain, all on track from what we've been talking about together all week long. So again, thank you for being part of this channel and taking the time to subscribe and be part of this weather community. Now, let me start big, then I want to zoom right down into the northeastern Caribbean. So it's this system here that finally is getting out of Bermuda, mainly missing the Atlantic region of Canada, where we are still dealing with the incredible snow that we had this past weekend. But there's the tail of this system, and you can see this big swirl here. That's moving away into the North Atlantic. By tomorrow, things kind of relax in the Caribbean, so to speak. Again, I'll zoom down in a second. I want to show you the wave heights. Those are not necessarily going to relax. Then as we get into the weekend, here comes the next system across the U.S. A little break for California, at least temporarily, where they're dealing with the cleanup from early this week with some severe weather out there. But here's that next front. This is Saturday afternoon, and I'll monitor this as it just kind of sinks into the southeast U.S. and then starts to work in toward the Bahamas and the northern Caribbean once we get into early next week. So that's kind of the next area to watch. So just zooming down to give you a look at the rain today, and you can see eastern Caribbean. That's where we're going to be seeing it. Anywhere from Puerto Rico, but mainly the U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands. And we had some gusty winds and a lot of rain across the Virgin Islands yesterday and off to the east. That's where we had the best chance of rain, down through about Dominica. We had some heavier rain, St. Kitts and Nevis yesterday, watching some similar spots for today. But as we go out in time, as we work our way into Friday, things start to relax. The system pulls far enough away where it kind of loses its influence in the Caribbean. We're not going to see a lot of moisture around, but still some leftover moisture. Watching the ABC Islands, where we did have rain in spots yesterday, and again, that chance will be with us the next few days. Not super high, but at least a chance of rain. Guyana and Suriname, also some spotty showers. So here's the zoomed in look. So we get into the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Okay, we get over towards Saba, Statia, St. Kitts, Nevis, Montserrat, down through Guadeloupe, including areas like St. Barth, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda. We're going to see some areas of heavier rain, or at least the potential of that as we go throughout the day. And where you see these reds showing up, that's telling me it's not just regular rain, but we could get some of those downpours, some heavy rain at times. This is through midnight tonight, so even overnight as the system starts to wind down toward Dominica, but especially Montserrat over toward Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda overnight tonight, we could still have some of the rain. And then you see by tomorrow morning, while there's still a chance of some showers, things start to subside, things start to relax. Now, the winds, I'm going to keep an eye on those, and the seas. That's what I want to show you next. So here's what's going on. We have that northerly flow, and I know I was watching a lot of our comments yesterday. Although we had some rain in spots, some folks grateful for the cooler weather. Still that northerly flow today. That's what we're going to have over toward the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, especially over toward Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, just taking the edge off of some of the temps. But that system pulling away. We have an area of high pressure building in. That's going to work toward Bermuda. That actually brings some settled weather, some nice weather, and then that will turn the winds a little bit stronger out of the east or the Caribbean. So we could see some gusty winds, and that will keep the seas on the choppy side. And then by Saturday, winds will be coming in out of the south in the Gulf of Mexico. That's ahead of the next system. And then as I was showing you earlier, we'll watch that next system that will eventually drop closer. But there's that area of high pressure, so winds east, and then out of the south, Jamaica will have more of a southeasterly flow as we work our way into the second half of the weekend. Now the seas, they are still up, especially toward the Bahamas. Again, Atlantic-facing waters, we're looking at about 2 to 3 meters. Over toward Bermuda, things have been very rocky. Now, as we go out in time, the Gulf, we've had a little bit of a break. It has not been as choppy, not as dangerous as the open waters of the Atlantic. But this is as we work our way into tomorrow, Friday. We're going to see the seas building a little bit. Those swells really work in. So we'll become choppier in the Caribbean, running at about 2.5 meters. Meters here, there's your scale there, feet on the right-hand side. So we're looking at about 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. And you see things a bit choppier as we work our way into Saturday. So heads up for any boating interest in the Caribbean as we work our way into the weekend. Things are going to start to build again. Now, as far as additional rain is concerned, right on the edge of my friends in the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, but especially Anguilla down through Dominica. Not all of us are going to see this, but we have that chance, this kind of blacker shading here, of getting an additional 150 millimeters of rain. If we get that in some spots, and it's going to really differ island by island, but if we get that, that could lead to some flooding and an isolated mudslide risk. So I did want to give you the heads up on that. Jamaica, the rain chance isn't too high. Same thing as we get toward the Cayman Islands. We're looking at about a 10 to 20% chance and holding on to a 20% chance. Trinidad and Tobago, still some dust around. We've had that in spots. Barbados, rain chance will be a little higher tomorrow, about a 40% chance. And as we work our way into St. Lucia, just as the system departs, I mentioned there's some leftover moisture. That could give us some scattered showers. Grenada, about a 40% chance tomorrow, and a 40% chance tomorrow. St. Vincent the Grenadines, 30% chance on Saturday. Kind of scattered about. Rain chance will be eventually dropping off in Martinique, and I know some spots need the rain. Trinidad, I mentioned earlier, we need to get some rain in spots. We have been too dry. Dominica, best chance of rain will be today and tonight, and then gradually going down. Guadeloupe, I was highlighting Guadeloupe, and then to the north with that higher chance of rain. Antigua, Barbuda, this continues for tonight. So overnight, we'll see that chance of rain. Keep me posted at St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. If you get some rain, Anguilla, we're looking at that elevated chance today. Still an elevated chance, St. Martin, Ceiba, and Statia. And overall in Puerto Rico, we could see a little flare-up. It would be mainly the eastern end. It's not going to be for all of us. Rain chance, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. It's actually going to be a close call today. We'll either get socked into some rain later this afternoon and evening, or it could be just off toward the east. So I'll be watching that, just kind of keeping you advised that we could see that chance of rain again as the system winds down. Dominican Republic over toward Haiti, not a lot of action, mainly dry. Rain chance 30% in the Bahamas, could see a spotty shower. Rain chance limited, Turks and Caicos, only a 10% chance. 10% chance in Cuba, again, high pressure building in behind the system. So even as you get toward Belize and the Yucatan of Mexico, it would be a very stray chance of a shower. Rain chance stays small, but Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, leftover moisture. So the next few days through the weekend, we have a chance of some spotty showers. Rain chance 30% today in Bermuda as this system is exiting, and holding on to a 30% chance Costa Rica and Panama. Could see some spotty showers, up to a 40% chance in Guyana by Saturday, and holding on to about a 30% chance in Suriname, 30 to 40% chance with that leftover moisture in northern Venezuela and even northern Colombia. So isolated areas of flooding, watching out for the mudslide risk. Dangerous seas remain, and that rain chance, though, as we get toward the end of the week, for not all of us, but for some of us, will be going down as this system leaves. Watching that next front across the U.S., and of course, monitoring those earthquakes. We've had activity around the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and then back toward Puerto Rico over the last really couple weeks, and then back toward the southeastern Caribbean near Grenada, Trinidad, and working our way back toward northern Venezuela. But this new spot, that earthquake yesterday over toward Florida and the Bahamas. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Thank you for sharing this information. Have a great rest of your day.